welcome to another Cafecito. I'm just so excited about this one because I think it is critically important. A topic about that many of us live, whether we are conscious or unconscious, but I think it's something that we need to keep talking about. And I'm so excited to have with us one of our members in United Latinas, Jani Decena-White. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you. It is an honor to be here with you, my dear. Thank you so much for having me, for inviting me to be here with you.
No, absolutely. And before we get started, give us a little bit of background in terms of, you and why you do this work, because today's topic is about our voice. And to me, this is critically important because being able to embrace our voice, being able to speak up, being able to know how we, do things to hone in on it. It's critically important. And if not, being silent is basically, letting others control our narrative. And I know that that is something that you're also very passionate about. So let's start there.
Okay, I have to tell you, for the most part, I often say I help women to speak up, but more and more, as I have been just kind of digging more deeply into my purpose and my mission, I find myself really studying silence more altogether, just silence. And the reason for that is because silence isn't an empty thing. Silence is something that has so much consequence. So, for more than 30 years, a little background, I was a professor, I was an academic leader. I built some amazing programs at the college, learning communities. I chaired the committee that started learning communities at the college. I built the honors program that was really flailing into a beautiful established space. Sat at the table with the college president on some institutional initiatives related to the honors program, including speaker series. I built pathways for students to Columbia, to NYU, all manner of things. And from inside the institution, I watched the similar thing happen over and over and over again. Brilliant faculty that would be quiet in meetings, or we'd occasionally give each other a funny look at some of the events that might have been put on, or students who really swallowed their questions, were afraid of speaking up, even though public speaking was mandatory for graduation. I knew of a few people who said, you know what, early on in my career, I'd rather not do this than graduate, which just speaks to what an incredible power speaking up has for us and how much is lost when we do not do so. So that is really part of what has made me so very passionate about this. And so often, it's not just the brilliant people who didn't speak up or the students that didn't speak up, but oftentimes leadership that would become deaf to what people wanted to say. So that's really one of the things that made this very fascinating for me. Because businesses want to grow, want to expand, want to have greater revenue, want to retain people, but so often they're losing innovation, they're losing trust, they're losing buy-in as a result of not creating a space that is safe enough for people to speak up. So I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, no,
Because
and
I will go on. I
no,
could
no,
go
no,
on.
no, no. And you talk on a lot of, you touched on a lot of like really important points. In I think, and because I just had this happen in different situations in the last couple of weeks. So as you were chatting, I'm like remembering exactly what you're saying. Like it doesn't matter what, a couple of things. One, it doesn't matter the level you're in. Like you can be an
Mm,
individual contributor, you can be a rising leader straight out of college or within college, you can be a C-suite professional, right?
yeah,
It
absolutely.
doesn't matter. Like this feeling of speaking up but not speaking up, of staying silent, of being humble,
Mm.
like all of these things that happen in our mind, whether they're conscious or unconscious, impact how we how we use our voice. And the
Yes.
second one, and it just came to me as I was hearing you, and I think it to me that's the most, I don't want to say dangerous one, but in a way it is. And
Mm.
because it is the one that we believe that we're speaking up,
Mm.
truly believe that we are speaking up, but we're actually not.
Yes.
Because either we're not speaking up in the spaces that we need to speak up,
Mm-hmm.
or what we're saying, we are going around in circles, right? And we think that we are clear on what we're saying, but for the rest of the audience in that in the meeting or in the space that we're in, they're not listening. Like it's going in
Yeah.
one ear and it's coming out the other, and it's not connecting the dots. And it has nothing to do with language. It has nothing to do with accents. It just has with the way we think we're speaking up and or connecting and communicating, and the way others are. And I know that's a lot of also the work that you do in terms of reclaiming our narratives, in terms of making sure that what we're saying is actually being heard.
Yes.
Otherwise, the speaking up is almost the same as silence, or
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, maybe it's even worse. I don't know, what do you think in your experience?
Well, I mean, first of all, the woman, the person that you're speaking of, is ideally in a more fixable space, right? Because basically what they need is support and help with clarity so that what they have to say lands. But there are people that are not even there as yet, that have been conditioned in such a way by society, by traditions, by so many things, where they can't even get to the point where they're speaking with lack of clarity. They can't even get there because for so often we've been receiving the messages of, I had a thought, I'm like, do I say it? Calladita te ves más bonita. Calladita te ves más bonita, right? And for anyone that's trying to understand what it is that I just said, what just came to my mind is something that I remember hearing as a young girl. You are prettier the quieter you are. Nobody wants a loud person. Nobody wants a busybody. Nobody wants a woman that is so has so many opinions. So you see, for a moment, I like hesitated. Do I say that? Because there's for me where I am in my life, there's shame in that. There's a shame that this is the type of message that we give to our daughters, that we give to women, and it's almost like by repeating it, by saying it out loud, it's like I'm digging into the stereotypes that are already out there. So I kind of hesitate for a second, but I'm always going to just release it, because how do we get better? How do we fix this? How do we fix this situation? So again, there are so many women that can't even get to this point of lacking clarity, and it's such a much better place when you were saying, is it worse or is it better? I think it's a much better place because that person is at least at the point where they feel that there is some value to their voice and they do want to speak up and they do want to say something. Basically, they just need support and training to get the point across properly. So I think they're still in a better place, not worse, even though they're not as well heard as they would be. But that's the work.
Yeah, yeah. And I think as I hear you, it's also about becoming conscious that that is
Yes,
happening to us.
absolutely.
And if nobody tells us, there's nobody to that can, because of a lot of things, right? Because
Hmm.
of structural, because of structures, because there's nobody like you, because there's not that level of trust,
Hmm.
or that interest from somebody else to tell you, hey, you keep talking in circles. Like you need to,
Yes,
like
yes,
there's all of these things. So I think we also need to put ourselves out there, to ask other people, like,
yeah.
how am I doing? How am I
Hmm.
am I coming across? Am I communicating? Am I being
Yes.
clear, or is it going in the wind?
Hmm.
um
And
but
what I love,
Go ahead.
And what I love about United Latinas is that you've created a space where we can come together and get the support that we need from each other. I love that you have the speaker circle every month and you have the meet and greets. You're trying to do some more in real life activities because that's what we need more than anything else. Oftentimes people will say, well, where do we start? Like, how do we address this? And you hit it right on the nose. It begins with that pattern recognition. Begin to realize, what is it exactly? What is it that brought me to this point? Why, where are the spaces in which I begin to hesitate? What are the surroundings that intimidate me in such a ways that I can't speak up? You want to begin with awareness, with the recognition. Begin to see where it is that you shut yourself down, where you self silence, where you begin to erase your voice. And then we work on ways to start kind of intercepting those patterns. But it's a process and it's work, and you have to be determined to do the work because it is so very easy to fall back into the societal conditioning that so many of us have been raised in.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm, mhm,
absolutely.
mhm.
What would you say, what have you seen, or what would you recommend as things? I'm recently more into micro practices because I think
Yep.
that trying to fix everything at once, it's overwhelming.
Yes.
There's too many things that are happening right now, too many pressures in this
Mm.
world, just trying to survive, that I think for all of us, trying to move a lot of things becomes
Mm.
very overwhelming. So I'm into micro practices these days. What would you recommend to people to keep in mind to do every day in a way that becomes even more that becomes more achievable for them, so that to avoid that erasure, to avoid that silence, whether again they're conscious or not, but once you become intentional, at least we start walking baby steps, but those baby steps can become, something bigger in the long run.
I see some connection to what you're saying to a couple of talks that I just did for the Dominican Writers Association for the Dominicana Festival of Literature and Culture. And a lot of it for me was writing. And I know for others, there's a similar power in writing down what it is that you're feeling, what is it that you're thinking, even if it is, I can't believe that Eliana asked me this question. I didn't know what I was doing. I was so scared. She intimidates me because she's, the CEO and she's so amazing and she's so fabulous. Or, we say this in our offices and in our companies where a woman is speaking up and then suddenly somebody is mansplaining her or somebody is interrupting her in the midst of it. Begin to be aware, what are the things that scare you, what are the things that where you leave and you find yourself a little tortured by, man, I should have said, I could have said, I would have said. What is it that keeps replaying in your head that you don't want it replaying in your head anymore? So again, so much of it is awareness, and awareness is you can begin that awareness with writing your thoughts, writing your feelings, becoming very aware of, I am going into this I'm going into this situation which in the past has scared me, but this time I'm going to be prepared. My company name is Prepared to Speak, right? We begin with that realization, seeing what our patterns are. What is it that has frightened me in the past, and how do I prepare for it? And the way that I work with women, with businesses, is really that we need to have community where we can practice seeing it and intercepting it. So at some point, it's going to get better. And I feel very strongly about presence without the performance. And that's why I will go back to, sometimes the person may be kind of speaking in a circular manner, but the first piece is to get them to speak at all, and they're not going to speak perfectly initially. They will be speaking in a circular manner, and part of what we want is get it out. Let's get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Let's get comfortable in those spaces where somebody may look at us a certain way or somebody may think something of us. There's nowhere where we're going to be where everybody's going to love us and think that we're perfect. Begin there. It might be imperfect. And as you continue to work on this space where you want to get better, you will get better. It takes time, it takes the energy, it takes the effort. You have to keep working at it. And I believe part of the problem sometimes is that we are so afraid that it's not perfect. We are so afraid that it's not perfect. I am going to show up at this meeting and, the CEO is going to be there, or the president is going to be there, or they're going to be the managers, the supervisors will be there. If I dare raise my hand and answer a question, what if it's wrong? What are they going to think of me? What's going to happen? And yes, it may not go well. It may not go well the first couple of times. But if you've been silenced for a long time, if you've been silenced in the past, that's your first step. You're going to have a few funky moments before it starts getting better, but you have to be okay with putting yourself out there so you can eventually get better.
I
Prepare. You won't be perfect, but just go for it. Let's work on it afterwards and during and before.
That is so powerful what you just said, and I've sort of thought about it, but it clicked until you actually said it. The
Mm.
writing what we're feeling or what we. I'm always not always, but it happens to me that I have the perfect comeback 10 minutes after, right? But it's already like too late. The moment has
Yeah.
passed. I might not even there. And suddenly it comes to me like, oh, I should
Mm.
have, said
Coulda,
this and it would
woulda.
have been amazing in that moment, but it's not and it's gone and wah. But now I'm thinking I should write those because
Mm-hmm.
now it's coming to me because I need to be prepared, not to
Yes.
perfection. I've learned to lower that expectation to a 70%, but I still feel like I
Yes.
need to be prepared. In writing those things, those off moments down, might actually keep them in my mind so that next time it might just come up in the moment instead of 10
Yeah.
minutes later. So
Yes.
I love that.
Yes. You're going to get better by doing it. And so often people believe, well, I just need a course, or I need to read a book about
Yes,
confidence so that I can be more confident. You will not get more confident reading more about confidence. You will not get more confident just dreaming about confidence. You're going to
yes,
get more confident by doing the things that make you scared and seeing that you did not die as a result. You did not die
yes,
and the world did not end. It's
yes.
okay. It's okay. You're going to be okay. Let's keep working on it until we get it. And so often the problem is that we are comparing somebody's expertise to my first time, right?
Yes,
The
yes.
person
The
who
comparison.
created the beautiful artwork to my scribble. I'm never going to get there. Like
Yeah,
I may never be that kind of an artist, but I can get my art out. I can get it outside of me. I can get it to mean something. I can get it to mean something for me. It can be left behind as a legacy. There's just so many reasons why just we have to just keep doing it regardless of whether or not it's perfect.
you're absolutely right. The
Mhm.
comparisons, uh, they do a lot to our
Mhm.
mind and to our mindset and to our confidence, and we can't compare ourselves to others, but we still do, and we know we shouldn't,
Yeah.
and still we do.
Yes. Yes.
And still we do.
Yes.
Hi, Rosanna. Thank you for being here in our audience, and thank you to everybody who's joining. Um, so you have a lot of workshops. You have a lot of different spaces and places that you bring your wisdom, that you bring your expertise to help others speak. So what do you have coming up?
I have a couple of things coming up. One of the arms of my work is prepare to speak the M word. So I'm really excited about that. I had a workshop it's almost a month ago at this point. 130 people registered for it. Phenomenal. About 102 showed up, and 90 minutes into an hour, a 2 hour presentation, there were still over 90 people in the room. So it really spoke to okay, more people are interested in having conversations about the M word. And the M word, for those who are wondering, what is this M word? Is perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopause. Yeah. And it was really, even hearing the women speak about, I want a safe space to be able to have this conversation.
Yeah.
I want to be able to talk about some of the things that are happening to me and I don't know why. I want to be able to ask somebody. And when I go to the doctors, I don't really get a chance to. I really get afraid to, or I forget to. They say they forget to, and then afterwards, like, yeah, but I wrote it down. It just didn't come out in the moment because there's so many things that we're just not prepared to speak about. So I do have a retreat coming up. I can put the link in the comments.
We'll have the link definitely
Yes,
in
is
our
absolutely. It's preparedtospeak.com/ M word dash radiance. And we'll have a doctor there for a few hours, not even for a few hours. She'll be there most of the day with us. So you won't just have a doctor that will do a presentation, do a Q&A, but she'll be at lunch. She'll be poolside. It'll be absolutely lovely. I'm doing a workshop on the unfinished woman because another piece is we get to midlife and we start feeling, well, it's too late to do these things. It's too late to want more. It's too late, right? It's not too late. It's just the beginning. It's just the
I
beginning. I just
I
retired last year. I have
yeah,
so much to do. And I
I
just bought a family compound. I'm like, I'm starting over. I'm doing all manner of things right now. So
I
it's not too
love
late.
that.
Yes,
And
yes.
so many of these things that we're going to be
Hmm.
doing for the second half of the year, because we're definitely going to start doing more on the topic of menopause.
Hmm.
So stay tuned because
Stay tuned.
you're touching on a subject that's dear to a lot of us.
Yeah.
Dear is not the word, but I want to use dear because I want to use the positive lens of it because we're in it no matter what, right?
Yes, yes.
And then the speaking in for different reasons, and how do we get a hold of our narrative in different spaces. And I know that we're going to be working with you
Hmm.
also on some things. So
Yes.
you've already shared a lot of the things that you're doing. Where can people find you?
Yes. And actually, there's a couple more things. On August 5th, I am doing a workshop on the cost of silence. And it is a workshop that I already did. I've done for Arlen Hamilton's community. She said it was one of the most raved about workshops. And that's across all of her groups, her inner circle, her Your First 5K, and her Arlen's All Access. I've presented in different places, and there are always tears when people realize the cost of their silence. That will be August 5th, so that'll also be in the comments. And my book, my book was
Your book,
launched.
super
My
important,
book, I almost forgot about
relentless.
my book, Relentless, Tales of Tenacity, Triumph, and Breaking Barriers with Lisa Nichols, which was just a fabulous opportunity and has just become an Amazon bestseller, which feels almost surreal to say. But the my chapter in there, there's 21 of us, and my chapter is really, for years I've been talking to people about speaking up. You know, I'm the voice expert. I'm the one that's in the front of the room telling people speak up. It's okay. You know, I'm gonna love you to do it. And I found myself sharing a story that I just had not shared, and have actually done that a few times, really, just in this past year. So even someone who's been teaching speech and trying to encourage people to speak up since I was 22, which has been a little while ago, there's still some stories that I was not sharing, that I was not speaking up. And I love that I've been able to do more of that, of what I'm asking other women to do. I had erased myself from my own story in certain spaces, and there were very real consequences that I was not aware of. So for August 5th, we'll be talking about the cost of silence a little bit more and what it costs you financially, relationally, internally. I can go on and on. This could go on and on. So we'll add it to the comments, all of the
Yeah,
things.
absolutely,
And yeah,
absolutely. Awesome. Thank you so much, Jenny, for shedding some light on this important topic. We could, to your point, we could stay talking about this for
mhm,
quite some time. So
yeah,
we'll definitely create a space in our upcoming sessions to make sure that we do a deeper dive
Yes.
into this conversation so that we continue to elevate our voice because right now more it's always been important, but I believe that right now more than ever we need to
Absolutely.
gain control of our narrative because we're getting erased and now is the time when
Yeah.
we actually need to do the other thing around. And
Yeah.
on that note, to everybody, remember because of that, everybody that's listening, whether you're listening right now or you're listening to the replay, the Extraordinary Latina Awards nominations are now open. Please, please, please nominate yourself, nominate others. We have 5 different categories. I am positive that everybody that listens and then some, everybody can fit one of those categories. So make sure that you nominate. Self nominations are welcome or nominate other people.
Mm,
But we all need to be spotlighted and highlighted, and
yes.
people need to know the amazingness that we do. And that's what these nominations are for, these awards are
Yes.
for, to showcase the extraordinary Latina that we all are. So make sure
Hmm.
that you do that. That's in United Latina slash awards, unitedlatinas.com/awards. Make sure you
Yes.
check those out. We have our upcoming uh, conference, virtual conference on October 14th. So sign up for that. That you'll find on our events page at unitedlatinas.com. We have a ton of other workshops that are already there and that will continue to come up soon enough. And we have many other surprises that are happening through the second half of the year. So stay tuned. In the meantime, thank you so much, Jenny, as always,
Yes.
for sharing your voice and your wisdom and your knowledge with us. Any final
Thank
words?
you. Thank you. Yes, yes. A couple final words. Thank you so much. I received my email saying that I was nominated as an extraordinary Latina. So thank you for whoever it was that did that. So I'm grateful. But I also wanted to just very quickly speak to 3 possible people that are listening. Right, one of you has been listening and is thinking, "This is me. This is my story." Your only job is to begin to start noticing where it is you're editing yourself so that you've been doing it so much that it feels like it's the only way that you are. Start paying attention to what it is that you're doing. Some of you has been thinking, our people need this conversation. Maybe it's your company, maybe it's your university or ERG, whatever it happens to be. I would love to explore what bringing the cost of silence to your people would look like. And there's some of you that are thinking, you know what? Somebody else needs to hear this. A leader you work with, somebody else. I am opening up space for some conversations over the past few weeks, so that'll also be in the link for someone who might want to schedule some time to talk. All right. And again, I thank you so much, Ileana. You're doing amazing, fabulous, phenomenal work.
Well, this
Glad
is
to be
part of
here.
this community and
Mhm.
everything that we do. It's all of
Yes.
us joining our voices so that we can become the echo to each other's voices and truly make a difference in this world. Thank you so much,
Yes.
Jenny, for being here with us. Thank you so much, everybody,
Thank
for
you.
joining. And I hope you're enjoying the summer. We still need to, create space for us to relax, to re-energize for
Hmm.
the second half of the year. So make sure that you're taking a little bit of time for you, even if it's
Yes.
a couple of minutes every day, or maybe you're going on vacation. Whatever it is, we hope you're having an amazing, amazing time
Yes.
and see you next week, wherever in the world you are. Thank you so
Yes.
much, everyone. Have a good
All
one.
right. Bye bye.
Bye.